It was at this moment he knew. He messed up. Get wrecked!
Hey guys, welcome back. It's your boy Salami, and today we're talking about The Sinking City in 2023. I just finished this game the other day, and I really wanted to talk about it. If you're a Cthulhu fan or HP Lovecraft fan, then there may be something here for you. But if you're not, then I find it a little bit hard to recommend. So I have played a couple of Lovecraftian games lately. This, and before this I played Call of Cthulhu, which I'm going to say now is a better game. If you're looking for a Lovecraftian game, I would recommend Call of Cthulhu first, and then if you're still wanting a little bit more, then definitely give this one a go. But it does require a little bit more in the way of forgiveness. The developers have done Frogware Studios. They've done all of the current, what are they called? The Sherlock Holmes games, which is they review pretty well and people are pretty happy with them in general. And they've just released a new Sherlock Holmes game, but it's got a Cthulhu twist. So I was gonna try that out next, and I probably still will. And you can see in the footage here that the half the reason why is the combat for this game is clunky at best. It's passable, right? Like, I'm just getting straight into the mechanics. Combat is not great. The enemy designs are cool, but the combat itself is just a little bit floaty and a little bit imprecise. And again, you know, you're playing as a PI and you're investigating the town of Oakmont as Charles Reed, and it starts off really great. Like, I would say the first opening chapter is brilliant. You meet not a young man, meet an old man named I've forgotten his name, and he doesn't look quite human. He's like half man, half ape, and he's quite cool. And you work with him within the first chapter or first half of the game, doing quests and side stories for him, and then after that you kind of leave him behind and move on with the rest of the game. I'm going to get straight to the point for the reasons I dislike this game. Combat, as you've already seen, and two, it drags on just a little bit too much for my liking. The game is revolved around you investigating, but the investigating isn't deep enough in my opinion. It's just not got enough going on. Basically, as you walk around a house or a building, and you run around trying to find everything. It's basically just a point and click. Like, you're just running around smashing X, making sure that you haven't missed anything on a table or near a body. As you'll see in this clip, I actually missed a piece of information I needed that's next to the body. So I investigated the body and the cart, but I did not investigate the note or the knife or something that's next to his body. Like, I missed it, and so I couldn't progress because I couldn't find it. That to me is it's, you know, like, you're investigating, so, you know, I can normally let that go, but I think it's the amount of them. And nearing the second half to last act of the game, you can feel the tension rising, but it's ruined by constant characters asking you to do something more for them, or find something for them, or investigate something else that Mr. Reed has to investigate. And it's like, come on, I just want to finish it. And then you're like, oh, I've got the item I need. I'm trying not to do spoilers. You get the item you need, and it's like, now you need to find more parts for this item. And it's like, come on, this needs to finish. I think the game, it took me about 15 hours to complete, between 10 and 15 hours. I would say maybe yeah, 15, and some of that's down to me just not like disappearing, and not all of that is counted as actual playtime. A good majority of it is, but not all of it. The game just, yeah, the investigations don't work as well as I would hope, and a lot of the time is you find all the parts for your investigation, and then you've got to work out the crime scene, which will give you like these ghostly like stories of that scene, and you put them in the correct order, but you're only ever doing at most 4, and it's just not hard to put them in the correct order. And you also have this thing called the mind palace, which is to like connect everything up. Again, the idea of it sounds great, but it comes down to you just pick one thought in your mind palace, and then you click on all the other thoughts until you find the right connecting one. There's no not tension per se, but there's no reason to really think about it, if that makes sense. Like if you only got one shot at getting the correct mind palace like connection, then you would read it and really think about it. But in this case, you just mash it all until you finally get ones that connect to each other. You can see in the footage here, this is one of those investigation moments, and you'll see that there's 3, and it's already basically in the correct order. Like there's no real thought of doing it correctly. See, look at that. It didn't even take me a second to know the order that those went in. So again, that's just, it's just not quite there in terms of investigations and combat. They're a little bit, both are a little bit weak, and the game doesn't go outside the fold. I will admit I did not do a lot of the side quests, simply because I wanted to get this game finished before Zelda Tears of the Kingdom came out. So unfortunately I had to just say, you know what, if I spend time on side cases, I'm not going to get the game done. And they may have extended the gameplay into different areas and made it a little bit more exciting, but I just couldn't see it. So I decided just to beeline it to the finish, because I wanted to get the game done and get a review out for you guys and get your thoughts on this game. And so I did that. And if we go now to the other side, which is story and all that, I think the main plot is cool. Like, you know, Oakvale. God, we're not in Fable. We're at Oakland. It gets like flooded, as you can tell, and then like people are still living here, but there's a few cults running around. They're like the Order of Dagon is here, and all that stuff is really cool. And the story follows a pretty good path. The problem is the ending. It really falls flat. There's 3 endings that you can pick from, and luckily you can just load up your save and play all 3 endings at the same time. So that's what I did. And I must admit, the endings all fall a bit flat in comparison to Call of Cthulhu. That game just had a much more exciting ending and choices that you needed to make. Again, like, if you're going to play a Cthulhu or a Lovecraftian game, please play Call of Cthulhu over this. And if you've got any other ones that you would recommend to me, please tell me, and I'll go have a look at them, because I love HP Lovecraft stuff. I wish there was a game set in Innsmouth. I really do. I think that could be a really cool haunting game. Like, I almost think of it as something as like Silent Hill 2 meets Innsmouth. Like, man, that could be really, really cool. I've kind of gone off script here, so back to The Sinking City. The endings are a bit of a fab, and I think the beginning and middle of this game actually has a really compelling story. The third act, it kind of starts to fall off the rails a little bit, and I started to lose a little bit of interest, but I wanted to make it through to the end to make sure I wasn't missing anything. But I don't want to say too much, because there is people here that will love Lovecraft like I do, and will want to experience for themselves. But you just need to be going with a little bit of a lower expectation for the ending. You can see me here trying to figure out what I've missed. In the end, I end up Googling it, because I can't figure out what I needed to find. and your like vision doesn't highlight items in the world. It only highlights chests and like hidden doors. See, so that book right next to him. See how I'd missed the book. It never got highlighted, so I did not realize there was a book there. And that is where I spend the next 20 minutes trying to figure out what I've missed. And it's that goddamn book. So it really is annoying that I could not see that. But I was like, what am I missing here? And I'm like looking around like, well, maybe I meant to follow them. I thought, oh, we are coming up near the end of the game here. I was like, maybe it's like breaking out of the find the things, put the order, and then finish the mission, you know. But no, it's a continuation that of the normal gameplay loop. But I just kept walking past that book, super frustrating. And the enemies keep respawning when you go too far away, as you'll see soon enough. Yeah. So those are my thoughts on the Sinking City. I think it's a game to play if you pick it up cheap. I wouldn't recommend paying a premium for this, and go in with the expectation that you know the developers love HP Lovecraft, and the game was built on the budget that they could afford, and they did as much as they could. I just feel like the third act is lacking, and the combat and investigation the investigations feel very samey. There's just not enough variety in gameplay between combat and investigating, and dialogue. There's the three, and they are all they don't change within that entire playthrough. Once you've learnt them, they don't change from there. Combat is serviceable. One recommendation is in the options is just turn lock on up to maximum value so you can lock on easier, especially if you're playing on controller. I found that it was a little bit wonky going forward. It was hard to get a good lock on. Maybe the dead zone on the game's a little bit out of whack, but that's just something to keep in mind. So thanks guys for joining me on this thought looking at the Sinking City in 2023. I played this on PS5, so great load times. Game visually looks okay for what it is. It's a shame it's missing ray. This game would really have added a lot with ray tracing. Maybe they'll go back and do that, but now that they've already released the PS5 version, I can't see them going back and adding ray tracing support. But I really think that would have added to the overall aesthetic of the game majorly. So once again, thanks guys for jumping in and joining me in this video. So please give it a like and subscribe if you thought this review is worth your time, and if it's made a decision on you whether you'd like to play it or not. And please, in the comments, let me know of other Lovecraftian games that you think I should play, because I haven't really played a lot of Lovecraftian games, just this and Call of Cthulhu. So if you've got any more that you would recommend, please let me know. Alright guys, I'll catch you in the next video. See you later.
Just finish this as planned.
Sorry, Joseph. I don't want to deal with either of you. But Usha is the one who knows what I need, not you. Nothing personal.
You're dooming us all. I won't let you do this.